Hi everyone, this is Ashley with Marshflower Studio. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the face for the little skulls that I've made. If you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you can see other patterns and additions to patterns as they come out. So first, obviously, you need to make your skull. Okay, we got his little teeth under here. I come in from the bottom, and you'll need to decide where you want your nose to go, because that'll help determine where your other parts need to be. So I've got my teeth, and right about here is a good spot for this guy to have the top of his nose. So I'm going to pull my yarn through. I'm using a nice thin, well, let's see, what number is this? It's a number 3 light yarn. And I'm just going to go one row down and to the side and back up through that same hole that I started with. I'm going to do that and through the other side of that stitch a couple of times. And that kind of creates that upside down heart shape for the nose. Just try to make sure you've got close to the same number of stitches for both sides so you don't end up with a super lopsided nose. It'd be terrible. He's already a skeleton skull with no body. Let's make sure he's got a semi-straight nose. All right. So I think I'm happy with how his nose is looking. Doesn't take too many stitches to get it there. Now I'm going to decide where my eyes are going to go. So I want my eyes probably, we'll go up one row and over a stitch. So this one will come into this hole here. So I'm going to go back down through that part. Come up through this stitch. Oops. My yarn came off my needle. I've probably got too much yarn here, but it's always better to have a little too much extra than to run out. Okay, so I'm going to go over, we'll do one stitch, and then we'll go down a row, and we'll kind of go around this little triangle that we're creating a couple of times. You'll keep doing this to kind of fill in the eye here. If you use a thicker yarn to do these details, it's definitely not going to take as long to get them done. But I kind of like this thinner black that I'm using. And I know it's really kind of impossible to see in the video, but it has a really nice kind of fuzzy, shiny thing going on for it. Oh, my hook. There we go. Well, not my hook, my needle. The tiny tornadoes ran off with my brain today. If you're stitches kind of slide too far in, you can use your needle to kind of push them back out. I've got one more little spot here where I need to kind of sneak in an extra stitch. Then I'm going to come over to this other side. Kind of hold that in place as it goes down into the skull. Here we go. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side. Just a couple of passes. And now that I have the outline for this other eye, I'm going to show you guys really quick how to do the teeth, and then I'll come back up and finish this eye. So I'm going to take my yarn, my needle, I'm going to decide where I want my first tooth to go. You have 4 or 5 across the front here, depending on where your teeth are, where your little row is down here. So I'm going to come out above my row of teeth. I'm just going to wrap it around the outside. We're going to stick it up in between that next stitch and just pull it through. So it goes around the outside of that teeth row, and then I'm just going to pop it right up in through the next hole. Okay, so you'll do that for all of the teeth that you would like to have, or you would like for your skeleton to have. Make sure our little starter tail there doesn't get caught up. And you could do kind of like that blackout tooth effect if you'd like. I just like for mine to have most of their teeth still. All right, that's my last one I'm going to do over here. So I'm going to go back to finishing up this eye, kind of filling in this shape here. And then once I've got this eye finished, I'll stick my needle back down through the bottom of the head and just tie it off back here. And then the face will be all done. And you can change it up a little bit if you'd like. If you want your eyes to be a little higher, a little more spread out. A couple of the little skulls that I've made are going to get turned into these sugar skulls. With all the pretty patterns and flower designs stitched onto them. That's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me because embroidering things onto a crocheted surface is not one of my strong suits just yet. I know how, just don't have as much practice with the execution. Trying to get down through the middle of that stitch. Cover up that little hole. All right. I'm actually going to add a few more stitches to this other eye because it's looking a little lopsided. So that's it for sewing the little face onto these guys. not super hard. Doesn't have to be anywhere near perfect. Come back out the bottom here. Make my little square knot. I'll thread that back through in a minute and trim off the ends. But there is a little face for a skull. So again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any other videos, and comment if there's anything you would like for me to make or anything you would like for me to kind of revisit if it wasn't quite as clear originally. All right, see you next time.